Hello everyone. Last night I went to bed way too late. I was testing a bunch of things on Witchaven. And I found, first of all, that when you're playing on BuildGDX, you don't get as many sword drops as you do in the Enhanced Edition. So meaning running without GDX. BuildGDX, that is. So right here, we've already had 4 swords. When I'm playing on BuildGDX, I get 1 after killing 20 or so goblins. So that sucks. One other thing that sucks, enemies are way tankier with BuildGDX than they're here. As you can see, this guy died in 1 dagger hit, which takes usually 3 to kill. And we'll check that out later in the video. This guy took 2. So far so good. Over here, there's a secret. But I want you to look at this waterfall, right? And then when we move to build 1.18 or 1.18, sorry, then you'll see something. You'll see things. Anyway, the Ratman, same thing. 2 hits. 3 hits on that one, because the game is just adamant proving me wrong. 2 hits on that one. I really don't know what's going on. I have a few hypotheses. 1 stab, 1 death. Then this guy, 2 hits with the short sword. This one took 3. And then this skeleton, pay close attention to this guy, because we're gonna come back to it. 1 hit with the short sword. And the short sword is supposed to be weaker than the... what's its name? The flail. 5 short swords so far. This is aggravating me. And also pay attention to how often my sword gets damaged. Because right now it feels reasonable. On build 1.18, And I really don't know what's causing it. I tried a lot of things, and nothing seems to work. 2 more short swords right there for the taking. Anyway, then we have these guys, right? 2 hits, sword damaged, 2 hits, another short sword. So it's pretty reasonable. You always have a short sword to fall back on. Anyway, here we go. We have BuildGDX version 1.18. And look at this, guys. Not a single short sword. And I usually don't fight them, because 3 hits, 4 hits, 5 hits, 7 hits. 7 hits to take down one of these guys. Now I realize that we don't have a metric for the dagger on the orange or yellow goblins. However, we do have it for the green guys. And those guys die in 1 to 2 hits. Usually 1. Look at this guy. 1, 2, 3 hits. Witchaven is a hard game. But I feel that this has made it harder. Or maybe this was how Capstone intended it to be, and enemies were just supposed to be sponges, damage sponges, that is. And I don't know. I still love the way it looks with the BuildGDX and the upscaler, and I really enjoy how smooth the gameplay is. But I don't enjoy being starved for weapons. And now here, remember I told you to look at the waterfall? This only happens on version 1.18. From the versions I've tested, which have been 1.18 and 1.16. So I don't like this. I've also had the gameplay not choppily, but it was suffering from slowdowns. It wasn't as smooth. And at first I thought, and the research I did indicated that it was a frame rate problem. But I've lowered the frame rate on this. I turned on VSync, and I keep seeing the same results. So I did have a run that, playing at 30 frames per second with BuildGDX on version 1.16, I had about 4 short swords drop after killing 15 or so goblins. I don't know if it has to do with anything. So look at this guy. I killed him in 1 short sword hit. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits with the flail. What the hell is happening here? Why are the enemies so tanky? Now, what did I do with this guy? Oh, I went with the flail. So these guys died to 1 hit with the dagger, but right now it's taking me 2 hits to kill them with the flail. So I don't know. I don't know if this is a feature or a bug at this point in time. It just seems really crazy to me that the original, the vanilla one, with no mods or enhancements, other than whatever the Enhanced Edition has. And hey, look, 1 short sword, finally. I don't know if something changed on the Enhanced Edition that altered the drop rates, and this here is how Capstone intended. Also, look at that. Short sword is damaged, right? I just picked it up. How am I supposed to kill anything if my weapons keep breaking at that speed? So you get super tanky enemies, you get no drops, I mean, lock. But look at this, it's a fresh short sword, right? Fresh sword, it's already damaged. I only killed 2 enemies. What the hell? So I don't like that. But I'm not willing to give it up. Anyway, you need to download BuildGDX 1.16. You need to do what you did, like resolution, poly most. In here I selected OpenAL 1.15. Went with virtual MIDI synth, select the sound font. And after that, you need to make sure that autoload folder is checked and remove checked for updates. And then, if you were using 1.18, you need to change the path to the game. Otherwise, it won't work. It won't register the upscale. This here is what I was doing last night. I was testing with frame rates, I was testing with VSync. I also removed the voxels because, hey, maybe voxels are consuming memory. I don't know. Turns out, none of that really helped that much. I think the good drops I had were just luck. Because you will see here, we're gonna have, if I remember correctly, the same drop rate of short swords that we had in the previous video with 1.18. So here we go. Have our goblin. We stab our goblin. This is build 1.16. What am I doing? Anyway. Behind the waterfall, there is no problem. I am going to stick with version 1.16 to play Witchaven. 2 hits on that guy. 2 hits on that guy. I don't know. The last thing that occurred to me was changing the difficulty. Because I figured, hey, maybe the difficulty has something to do with it. And you start with short sword, long sword, or broadsword. I think it's broadsword in this game. And still no drops. However, this guy took 3 hits to die. And in the previous iteration, one of these was taking 7 or 8 with the short sword to die. 2 hits on this guy. I don't know about that. It's a short sword. Should be better than the dagger, but it's 1 kill there and 1 short sword, which I don't know if I can attribute that to, hey, it's a lower difficulty, or just random luck. Going back here, I don't know. Like, again, waterfall, it's fine. It's the same BuildGDX version. I believe on this one we're gonna go through to the end. So the rat guys are dying in 1 hit, 2 hits, so the difficulty did something. I also don't know if the second difficulty on the unmodified version was supposed to be like this, or if it was supposed to be as it is, with tankier enemies. I also want you to note that my sword hasn't broken. It's not damaged yet. I've killed a bunch of enemies with this sword. And look at that, 3 hits on the skeleton versus the 5 with the flail. And again, the short sword should technically be weaker than the flail. I've gone almost half the level, or half what I'm doing here, using the short sword without it being damaged. There it is. Look how many enemies I killed to get the short sword damaged message. Whereas the other one, I just killed 2 guys at the end of here, this area. And what happened? What's going on? You know? Here we test the flail against these guys. 3 flail hits. These guys are not as tanky as they were in the previous attempt. I've still had only 2 short swords drop. But it's not as bad because the sword doesn't break after killing 2 enemies. So all in all, I think there's something going on that BuildGDX adjusted the difficulties. Maybe there's a problem with frame rates, maybe there's something else, because Witchaven's code is a problem, really, and it's old. So maybe BuildGDX is the way we're supposed to play it. I don't know. I will take it as a challenge because I don't want to give up the pretty graphics. But with all that said, I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. Cheers.